It's Earth Day. Earth Day. You know, I believe, as a Christian person, that God's Ten Commandments sort of set up those parameters for us. And yeah, the fourth commandment talks about that God, in 6 days, God created the heavens, the earth, the sea, and all that in them is. And so I am one who has been worshiping the creator of the earth, not the earth, the creator of the earth, for, I don't know, 30 to 40 years now, whatever it is. And I've been benefited by that. So if you're just catching up with, we're gonna have Earth Day, we're gonna worry about climate, this and that, and we're gonna be nice and glad about the Earth, Gaia Mother Earth, and so on. No, don't worship the Earth. The creator of the Earth, though, that person might be worthy of your worship, and that is the God of the personal God of monotheism of Christianity. And so I would advise you to not have an Earth Day once a year, but worship the God who created the earth all week long, and then in particular on the seventh day, the Sabbath. So yeah, that is the thing. God is the creator. And so yeah, I'm not, earth is beautiful. It would be beautiful, wonderful. It's got some sin impacts on it, but that's going to be corrected. But today's the big Earth Day, and I see it in all the news. We've all got to think now. We've got to think Earth Day, think Earth Day. So, oh well. So, yeah. Treat the earth nicely, yeah, do it. But this is, I'm glad that once a week I have the Sabbath to remind me of the Creator. Not of the stuff He created, but of the Creator. So welcome, this is our weekly Monday YouTube Live, and we're just thinking out loud about a couple of bits. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our devotionals, and a question I have for you too about some stuff over on the Repair the Breach WO channel. Just see if you have any thoughts on that. But let's start as we usually do with the devotionals, and again we'll take a short period of time here. And we are now up in Exodus 24, and Moses is going up and down the mountain. And in Exodus 25 we're going to get the sanctuary business. So been looking forward to that since before we started it. We have the Ten Commandments back there in 20 of Exodus. In chapter 19, we have Moses going up and down on the mountain to God and so on. And this section in Exodus 24 is kind of a conclusion. We start in Exodus. The book of Exodus is kind of breaks off into different pieces if you look at the themes of what's going on there. So this section began in Exodus 19, and now it's going to complete in Exodus 24. And then we're going to move into a totally different section as the sanctuary and the tabernacle in the wilderness is described. And if you think that's going to be the most boring part of the book, no, that's going to be the most enlightening and insightful part. So looking forward to that. But right now Moses going up and down the mountain, and here we're just looking at some business, and I don't want to just repeat the things that we are going to say or have said in the devotionals, but yeah, Moses is said in the book of Exodus to be one like Jesus is. Moses is kind of the early type. Jesus is going to be the anti-type in certain respects, not in every respect, but Jesus will be the prophet who's like him. And one of the ways in which Jesus is like Moses is that Moses is mediating between the people. Moses is going up and down the mountain. Moses is taking the words of God to the people, the words of the people to God. He's taking God's law to the people and bringing back word to the people. All that the Lord has said, we're going to do it. So that's some of the stuff that's going on here. So Moses is serving here in quite a mediatorial fashion. And I know there's a church today in the world that wants to provide, they put God so transcendent, so far above and beyond and out there that we have to have all these intervening saints and intermediaries, or maybe angels or something in between, or spiritual mighty men, even pastors, to intervene between us and God. But let me tell you, from the Christian standpoint, there is no need for a mediator between God and man. Jesus, He is the mediator. He is our great high priest. You think maybe Protestants don't have a priest because the Catholics have a priest, but Protestants don't have a priest. Protestants have a priest. Every Christian has a priest. Who's that priest? It's not Saint this or Saint that. It's Jesus. Jesus is our great high priest. Not only is our great high priest intervening between, mediating between us and God and interceding, but he is God himself, of course, also God come in human flesh. So it's interesting to look here in 24 of Exodus and see Moses in this role of mediating between man and God. And then we're going to see in the Gospels what? Jesus is the one who mediates between man and God. So I'm glad that as a Protestant, that I have a great high priest. Read the book of Hebrews. Jesus is my great high priest. He truly mediates between me and God, and through his righteousness, my feeble prayers and my feeble spirituality is infinitely enhanced, and God hears and receives and interacts with me and gives to me his grace. Grace doesn't come through the church. Grace doesn't come through a priest. Grace doesn't come through the pastor. Grace comes from God to you. That's a piece of Protestantism there. So anyway, it's interesting in Exodus 24, all this business with the mediation, because this, rather than being, kind of like a very interesting historical piece, because, this is Moses and right near the Ten Commandments and all that. No, this is interesting because he is here very much in a similar, not the same, but a rather similar role to the role that Jesus is for us. So interesting piece to me there, and maybe one you haven't, maybe it's one that someone hasn't thought of recent time. So anyway, more business going on there. Moses is going to be in the wilderness 40 days. He's going to be on the mountain, I should say, 40 days with God. Jesus was in the wilderness 40 days being tested, and then the devil tempts him at the end. And what happens at the end of this 40 days? Well, I guess that's coming up. So from chapter 25 to about 31, 32, we're going to have the sanctuary stuff. And then we're going to get to this very shiny calf, the golden calf, because there's a test at the end. And Israel sort of fails it, but Jesus prevailed in the test. So things you can think about there. Anyway, that's a little bit on our Exodus devotionals on Larry the Guy from Michigan channel. Also coming up, I mentioned it last week, we're going to be doing a book reaction to a book which talks about the foundation, talks about the connection between the feminist movement and spiritualism. And you think, oh man, somebody's reaching. Nobody's reaching. It is going to blow your mind if you have never been there before. So book reaction on this channel, and then over on Repair the Breach WO channel, my brand new channel's existed maybe a month or so here. Yeah, that channel is especially addresses issues involving women's ordination and some of that, more of the theological on that. Well, guess what? There we're going to do a pretty substantial video. In fact, I'm working them all out right now, which part's going to go in the book reaction and which part's going to go in the theology part, which we're going to do on the Repair the Breach channel. So that's I've set out a block of time today. I'm working on the preparing to deliver that to you. But I do have a question for you. I've prepared, because we're going to be talking about on the Repair the Breach WO channel, we're going to be talking about spiritism and spiritualism. It's pretty greasy stuff. Because of that, and we're going to have, who knows, come and watch the videos, watch the presentation. I've prepared two short videos. Well, one's 14 minutes and one's maybe 7 minutes. And they're both done, they're both uploaded, they're both ready to press the button. One of them just talks about we cannot communicate with the spirits. The other one talks about the nature of man. What happens, how do you make a man? What happens when a person dies? They're very simple. They're not deep, detailed presentations, but what I've prepared those for. I want when I get into the big presentation that perhaps more people would watch. I'm going to, send people off. By the way, if you don't know about this, go watch this one. I'll give you a short update. So I've got those two videos ready to go. I'm hesitant to drop those, to put those online today, because people might go there, and say, well, I'm at the Repair the Breach WO channel. I'm expecting women's ordination stuff, and he's talking about this other stuff, these other weird doctrinal things. These aren't really pertinent to women's ordination. So yeah, maybe even, don't want to even be here. Well, so I don't want people to have that impression, because this is important foundation particularly for people who might have never heard some of these Bible truth in the Bible teachings before. But at the same time, I don't want to drop everything in one day. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I should press the button and publish those today, or just wait. wait a little bit longer till I have my book reaction and the theology part done. So I'm not sure what to do. If you have an idea, type it in, put it in the comments, and I'll be reading those comments here just as soon as this is over. So I'm not sure what to do with that, praying about it, and if you have some insight or some thought about that. Should I wait? Should I just go ahead and drop them today so that they're there and they're ready to go, and then I'll refer to them in the main presentation. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that, but we will see. So let's see, anything else we want to talk about? Studying a lot right now about feminism, from looking at the Bible, looking at the history, what is biblical, what is not biblical. I was going to bring in a stack of books here, but it's a pretty good stack, and I'm not didn't want to drag them out here. I've got some pastoral visits and things that I need to address today, and I'm going to hit those here just after I talk to you all. But this is kind of our scheduled time, so I wanted to be here when I said I would be here. Say hello. I wish you a good week. I guess wishing you a good Earth Day. And I shouldn't laugh, it's actually a good thing. It's a good thing that people want to be nice to the planet. It just seems like we really should be nice to the creator of the planet, like instead of being nice to the planet. But I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. A lot of well-meaning people, that's fine. It's good. We should be good to the planet. Stop polluting. Don't make a big mess. Clean up after yourself. Just like when I was in the Northwest, pastoring and hiking here and there off into the mountains and so on. You clean up. You don't leave a big mess behind you. You don't take trash into the wilderness and then just leave it there. You pack out what you pack in, right? That's just kind of good Earth Day thinking. So maybe I'm an Earth Day guy after all, and I just didn't know it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go to my x.com channel, and today I'm going to put up a little video. I'll just film it here in a little bit, just a short little social media bit about Earth Day and Sabbath. Instead of, the Earth Day, like, maybe the real Sabbath, the Bible Sabbath. So if anybody's interested, what's my X channel? It'll be on My Savior and My King. Oh, I don't know where it is. Somewhere I'll put it in the notes here for the description of this right here when I publish this. Although I guess it's being published now, it's live. So all right, I guess that's all I really have for you today. I've got lots of stuff on my plate today, so we're going to get straight to it. And I'm going to visit some people who are very ill today. And a lot of people sometimes they don't have family, sometimes they don't have relatives, or family's a long way away. They poke them off into a nursing home until they die. And I recognize it's hard when there's big distances, but at the same time, we need to love each other. We need to spend some time with each other. We need to connect with each other and pray with and for each other. So anyway, we got some of that stuff to do, which every Christian person should be doing. The only difference is I'm a clergy person, so I'm paid also to do this. So, but we should do this just because we love people and not for mercenary reasons. So, friends, you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week. The sun is shining here. We're heading off into better weather, and so we're pretty excited about that. And I pray the Lord will give you a beautiful week. Do spend some time in the Bible this week. Do spend some time in prayer. Spend some time in study. So many people, I get caught with it too. We're flipping, and maybe you've got pretty good muscles on your fingers, but let's be flipping the pages of Scripture and reading there so we can exercise our mind and our heart. And God will bless that. God bless you this week and be with you.